Welcome to KF&JF podcast. Today has been one of the hardest days of my life. I can't understand it, but here's my problem. I've had some property in Louisiana. I'm going to say Louisiana first so you guys can all understand some of the problem. I have some people that decided that they wanted to put their electricity in my address. I want to say that again. They decided they want to put their electricity on in my address. Well, I'll give you the story. Well, apparently I had evicted someone off my property. Matter of fact, I'm going to put my glasses on because I think this is going to have to be seen by both of us. And here we go. I put myself in a position where I thought that because I own some land, that I might be able to just go there and get what I need to get done. One, I wanted to get some work done on the land. But I realized that my family had someone staying there. Well, they were evicted. They were evicted off the land, and the land was clear, and I thought for myself that everything was copacetic. I mean, the land's clear, nobody's there, but unbeknownst to me, they evicted the people off. They just moved next door. They moved right next door, right next door, to where they were able to use the address for their own benefit. I didn't know. We thought once they evicted them off the land that they would be able to just go ahead on and everything would be free. We'd be able to do what we want to do with the land. Well, that is not the case. I discovered that they had the power on for the energy company, and they were doing everything for years on my address. It's a vacant lot. They went on and decided that they're going to put my address and their name and keep getting electricity on my property. So I went one day to decide, we're going to start doing some work on this property. Let's see how we can get started. And discovered that somebody had put their name and violated my address. I called the energy company and I said, hey, what can I do to get these people name off of my property? Well, Mr. Fernandez, we got you all squared up. We can take care of this right away. I said, well, what are you going to do? Looks like they're just violating the law by having their address or having my address in their name. Well, the lady on the phone says to me, Mr. Fernandez, we're going to do a tampering charge on them. We're going to go ahead and accuse them of tampering. Well, you're accusing them of tampering. Okay, what's the law? What does that say you're going to do? Well, Mr. Fernandez, we're going to go ahead on and send some of our guys over there to investigate this, and we're going to determine whether or not that address that you say, Mr. Fernandez, is vacant. I said, I can prove to you it's vacant. I got pictures of it. Well, I forgot. This is an energy company. They don't really care. They just going to go out there and see. I said, okay, fine. They gave me a date. They said they're going to go out there and send the trucker out there to check all this out and get back with me. I said, okay, this is the start of this process. I can deal with that. I called back on the date that they said, Mr. Fernandez, we're going to go ahead on and see if that order was filled. Here's the information we got. Mr. Fernandez, no one's been there to check and see if your property has any poles or anything that says that your address is being used. Your work order has been postponed. Your work order has been postponed. We don't have enough manpower to go out there and do what you need to do in this area of town, Mr. Fernandez. Isn't this something? Well, when are you going to go out there then? When are you going to make this happen so I can be able to exercise my rights as to doing what I need to do on my property? Can you give me a little bit of information on how that was working? Well, you know what they told me at the end of your company, Mr. Fernandez? We're going to go ahead on and set up an emergency. An emergency. Well, we're going to do an emergency disconnect. We're going to have somebody out there in 24 hours for you to go ahead on and exercise your rights and get your land back. I said, yes. Now we talking. Now we're going to get some things done. So I said, well, how long is it going to take? 24 hours? Okay, well, then I'll call you back tomorrow. And we'll exercise to see whether or not these people have gotten off my land and the poles and powers and lines and everything's been pulled off. I tell you, I evicted these people off the land and I don't want them to have any access to the land. Did I tell you one other thing? They've been parking on my land already. They were already using the land as their own because when I evicted them off, well, let's get a little backdrop here, people. They built a driveway. They put some money into the land when they were tenants and built a 70-foot driveway. They exercised that driveway as their own. When they moved right next door, did I say that? Right next door, they used that driveway as theirs. Well, let's get back to the electrical problem because they were evicted. Now that driveway's mine. So I went on and told them, I said, well, you know what? I called to check on the order that was placed. I got the order number, and you guys said that you're sending someone out there right away to go ahead on and get my property back. So how's everything going? Has that been exercised? Does everything look good? Or we're getting back in tune with my property where I can do something that I need to do to it? Because it's getting a little bit, you know, like I feel like I'm wasting my time. No, Mr. Fernandez, let's check. Let's look into this. Tap, 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 tip, tip, tip on the typewriter. And they went on and checked in there. And you know what they told me, Mr. Fernandez? Don't look like nobody came out there. Don't look like nobody went and seen that order or filled that order. Well, what's going on? Can I get the number? Can I see or call whoever is responsible down in this area to exercise this order? Well, no, this is the 800 number you're calling right now. We don't really have the number. Maybe you could Google it. Well, don't you have the number to the place that's, you know, you're indigent. You're the company that, well, we don't know who actually is exercising the work order. All right. Well, what we going to do from now, ma'am? What we going to do? Well, you know what I'm going to do, Mr. Fernandez? I'm going to get you on the line with my supervisor, and we're going to go ahead on and check into what we can do to get you access to your address and your power. You know what that means, guys. You know what that means. They put you on hold. And I'm on hold, I tell you. This story right here, I was on hold for a long time. Till I even got so sick of the music, I tell you, I heard it in the middle of the night. And I thought I was still on hold. But, lady supervisor gets on the phone and tells me, Mr. Fernandez, we're going to exercise that. We're going to send some information over. We're going to find out what's going on. And we're going to put another emergency work order in for you. We know that you have illustrated that this is a problem. And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to assess a tampering. We're going to send someone out for investigation. And we're going to see that your property is being tampered. And I was excited. I said, yes, there's going to be some trouble for somebody. Somebody's on my property. There's going to be some trouble. And they're going to help me exercise the trouble. So I said, okay, sure, go ahead. Let's get this going. Tampering. How long will that take? Well, we're going to give you about a week or so. Someone's going to go out there and verify your land and look to see if the power is being connected to someone else. Okay. They gave me an order number and they say, wait a week. I'm okay with that. I'm just figuring that as long as we can get somebody to pay for the problem that they've been creating for me, I'm willing to be patient. So what did I do? I waited. I waited a week and messed around, and a week came, and I made the call. I said, you know what, Energy, what's going on with my property? Again, I was told that someone has put in a tampering order and that my property was going to be investigated to see what is going on. What is they doing? How is it that they're getting power and my land is empty? Not a house on it. Not even a stone. Well, besides the fact that they try to park on it. The energy lady says to me, Mr. Fernandez, looks like no one has worked on that order. I don't understand why no one has went out there. We put an emergency order in twice. Ladies and gentlemen, here's where the problem starts to begin. I have been calling these people for 30 days. Let me tell you, if you can call a company 800 number and get the same person twice and get the person next to them twice, that means you went around the whole system. And that means that you've been diligent in trying to figure out what was going on with your property. And they keep telling me that they're doing something and nobody wants to go and do the job. So I start wondering. Talk to my brother. Talk to my sister. Say, hey, this is what's going on. You know, they're telling me they're going to go out there. Let's see if my brother can go by there and see what's going on, if the power's off. Maybe they did do something and they didn't get the information in time, or they didn't get the information where they put it in the computer system over at Energy. So I said, go check on it. Go check on it. Well, them folks are lit up like a Christmas tree over there. Power's on, everything's working, and I'm furious. But it's a Friday, and I can't do nothing about it. I can't call. I can't deal with anybody. So you know what I did? I waited patiently till next week. Followed up right away. Monday. What's going on? No one's been there. I've been asking and asking for somebody to come there and take care of my property. I'm in California. I need to get my land back. Well, Mr. Fernandez, hold on a second. This is really, really, really a big problem. And I don't understand why nothing has been done. And I said, I agree. I agree with you. Something should have been done. What they do? Let me tell you what they did. They put me on hold. They put me on hold, and I'm on hold. Listen to that same damn music for the same damn time. So I'm listening and listening and listening. 45 minutes. And she says, and get on the phone, Mr. Fernandez, I don't understand what's going on. They should have completed your order, and we are going to have to give this to a supervisor. Another supervisor? I said, well, you know what? I'm not getting off the phone until we get this squared away. I want to talk to somebody, and we're going to get this done. And I'm sick and tired of waiting, and no one is getting the power done for me. Well, supervisor gets on the line and says to me, Mr. Fernandez, I have called over to the people. I said, well, first of all, you didn't tell me that you got a way to call over. Why didn't you give me the number? I would have called over. But he said he called over there, and they said that they didn't have the manpower. And they were going to have to extend my order for another week. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm fired up. I'm so fired up because another week? What are these people doing over there? Okay, I'm not going to go there yet. But I will. Just hold on. I'm going to go there. But right now, I'm just fired up. You guys got to get my property. I can't get my property back. I've been trying to do this for 30 days. You're telling me that you're going to send somebody out there. What, you guys don't exercise your 30 days? You don't exercise doing what you say you're going to do for 30 days? It's my fault? Well, you know what they tell me. Mr. Fernandez, just because you own the property, doesn't mean that you can turn somebody's property. Electricity off. I said, well, excuse me. I thought because I own the property, no one should be having electricity on. Well, Mr. Fernandez, these people have been paying for electricity since 2018. Whoopsie. I evicted them off in 2018. I thought that they were going to get off the land was clear, and everything was going to be all right. But they just moved next door. And so what I ended up with was a problem because they kept my address as their address. I never checked. I never looked into it.